everyone, Yensid Organist here, and welcome to another episode of OrgelCraft. I hope you guys are having a great day today. We are back here in Arendelle this week, and what I want to do is I want to do some city planning. I've cleared a ton of space over here to build the preliminary town area. And we've gotten Market Square done. Obviously, we still have details to go. But I've kind of gotten to the point where I can work on the town, not necessarily in episodes, because there's only so many different variations on this house, and you don't want to watch that over and over and over again. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to get a feel for where the rest of the town is going to go. And then that's something, maybe we dedicate an episode to, a street, or there are some buildings that kind of stand out in the town, and so we can spend some time working on that. But I really want to get a feel for how the rest of this is going to go. And then I think we can start making a lot more progress on the town, and then we can start working towards the castle. And depending on how the planning for the town goes and how this goes, we may start to lay out the footprint for the castle itself. As you can see, I've been doing some clearing offshore here. I've taken out a couple of the islands that were built up. This one still needs to go at some point, but since this is where our little observation platform is, we're going to keep it for right now. So what I want to do is I want to jump back in. If you remember early on in the season, we had a little overlay that we used, and we kind of used that to kind of rough out approximately where we want to go. So now that we actually have part of the town built, I'd like to put that overlay back up and see how things look like compared to what the original plan was. Alright, so here we are in spectator mode, and we're going to need a top-down view of Market Square to be able to kind of lay out everything else. And I do apologize, the video quality is not going to be nearly as good here for a little bit, but that's just going to be while we're doing this. Alright, so let's pull the overlay in, and then I want to do these houses that are on the north side of the square, and I want to get that to the point where it is roughly the same size as the houses here. That's kind of what I'm using as my go-to frame of reference. I think that looks pretty good right there. So I feel like we did pretty good with this as far as the square goes. Now, what I am noticing is that on the east side of the square, that goes out a little bit farther, and I think that was part of that choice to make those houses 5 wide as opposed to 3 wide. So I think that is why we're a little bit off there. But I think overall, this isn't too bad. As I kind of look around, this main part of the square here, looks like we've got that area pretty well cleared out. The diagonal street that you can see is Clock Tower Street. And then the street running off to the right is Hill Street, and that's kind of where we're going to start to change elevation there a little bit, and then we go up into the hills and the farmland and things like that. And then down at the bottom of the overlay, there's a place where there's a number of houses that are actually built out over the water of the harbor. So that's something that we're going to have a lot of clearing that we need to do. But I feel like for right now, we actually have a pretty good start, and I feel like our scale is pretty good here. So what we need to do now is I want to lay out the rough outline of our town, and then probably the outline of where that harbor is going to go as well. And then we'll start planning out some houses from there. So let's get to doing a little bit of planning. Alright, so I have pulled up my camera account, which is way up in the sky there, which you can't see, and I have put the overlay on that. So what I want to do is I want to lay out basically like the rough corners of the different streets and the different little house areas, and then from there we can work in a few more details. So what I'm going to do first thing we're going to do is figure out where the houses are going to go for Clock Tower Street, and this is that diagonal street that has the clock tower at the end and is kind of the central feature. So I need to find myself somewhere on the camera account, and so I'm looking at another screen right now, so if it looks really weird what you're seeing, know that I'm not actually really looking at that. Okay, so it looks like our houses are going to begin somewhere in here. Alright, so let's put that there, and then let's go find the corner over here, so probably maybe here. And let's go over just a little bit, and then I think this, somewhere about here, is going to be the corner. Now, we could do it on a direct 45-degree angle. Let's go with that for a start. All right, so this is where this is going to be the actual house itself. Okay, so then we go to the end of this street. So we're going to come up here a ways, and then we're going to come over. All right, and looking based on the camera account, I'm a little high, so let's maybe go, I think, right about here. Let's maybe go, let's say right here. All right, and then we want to get the other corner of this row of houses, so maybe about here. And then let's move over just a little bit. We probably want the same run. So let's maybe go. So we were doing a 45-degree angle. So that would bring us here. And then that keeps that consistent. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks in between those. How many do we have over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. I'm going to take that as a win. Okay. So let's do the other side of the street now. So we're going to have, let's see here, somewhere down in here, if I can find my... And on my camera account that I'm looking at, I am this tiny little dot. So this is a little bit of a challenge to figure out where these need to go. Okay, so maybe right about there. And then let's come over maybe here. And then I think we're going to go up just a little bit. So let's go with this. Okay, maybe we want to keep it on the same diagonal, so let's maybe bring it back a couple... that's not on the same diagonal. That's there. Okay, we'll do that. And then we'll go up to the top of the street. Let's see, looks like right about in here. Let's see. Let's go for right there. And then we're going to go over to probably somewhere roughly in here. Okay. And as I'm looking at the picture, it does look like this line comes directly across. So let's maybe go here. I think that looks pretty good. And then let's keep the same proportion. So since we're working on this diagonal, well, but there's not a lot of room between these houses, although this first one is not a full-sized house. It's a little bit smaller, so we could go maybe 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's really close there. Maybe we push this up a little bit more, possibly. Let's go, I don't know what this angle is yet. All right. But let's see, if we were going to go 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so then it would come in here somewhere. So let's maybe go right there for now. And then let's keep the same proportions here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that would go there. And then that would line up with whatever the angle ends up being there. All right, so this then is our street, is going to be this right here, and then our houses are going to go there and there. Yeah, I think this feels pretty good. We'll have to work out exactly where we want everything to go a little bit later, and we'll kind of I'll fill this in once we get some of the general stuff done. So now, really, the only other block of houses is over here, and this is an area where we're going to actually have to build out. So let me get some of these, and let me find, let's see. So where do we want to build out? I think we want to go right about here. Tell you what, let's take it right off the end of this. So then what we're going to do is we're going to have to build this out a little bit, which is fine because I have plenty of materials. And then the challenge is to see how far. Okay, and then from here, it looks like we're going to go on a little bit of a diagonal, so let's do that. And it maybe not an exact diagonal, but this will work for now. And let's probably go right there. All right, and then this is going to get extended this way. And I think it looks like there are 5 houses in this area. Wow, that water's really deep there that we're going to have to terraform. That's all right. Okay, so just a few more blocks as I'm watching on the camera account. And it actually is going to keep going from here, but I'm trying to work specifically for this little area of the town. So let's go here, and then let's go ahead and bring this back over. Now, like I said, this does get filled in, but this is reference for our houses. So we're going to bring this all the way back over until we meet up with what we have. Okay, good. And yeah, this looks pretty good. So then there's a few other houses that are kind of dotted around in here. So we've got lots that are over there, and then we're going to have plenty of other space in here to build a few other things. It looks like in here there may be like a chapel, and then some other houses kind of dotted around. All right, so that's a nice layout for where our kind of our main streets are going to go. The next thing I want to do is I want to flesh out kind of the paved area that we're working with here. So let's come over here and to figure out exactly where we want to start this. So let's go right here. This will be good. Let's do this one here. And I'm going to do... This is going to be the start of Hill Street. So let's see. If we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How does that look? I think that looks pretty good. And then Hill Street is going to go up this way. So this is going to be kind of the corner of that, if I'm looking at it. No, there's one more house this way. So that's going to maybe come about here. Or let's go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, we'll go with that for right now. And the sun is going down. All right. But then what I want to do is kind of work out exactly where we want the path to go. So let's start here. We're going to kind of curve it around a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to come up here, and I need to go sleep before all the bad things start coming out to get me. But so I think we're going to take it on a diagonal to about here, and it's a fairly narrow lane behind Clock Tower Street, which they've given them fun Norwegian names, which I don't have in front of me, so I'm not going to try to guess, but we'll give them their official names eventually. Okay, so we've got that. And then from here, we kind of come straight up a little bit over. There's a little bit of a diagonal to probably, let's go here. And then we go over this way to right about here. And then we take another diagonal over this way, and then it actually goes out to sea a little bit. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Let's see, I think we actually need to come this way a little bit. Oh, hey, that'll help. I forgot I was wearing my Frostwalker boots. All right, so maybe about, let's go here. And then that will give us a little rough shape. And then it actually goes back in a little bit. And then probably comes right about to here. And then fills in behind that. All right, so that gives us a nice little bit of a rough shape. And then we still need to work out where Hill Street is going to go. And I do kind of want to lay out a little bit with the I don't know if it's like a wharf housing area that is over in this area. So let me do a little bit of work to kind of fill some of this stuff in a little bit more. And then we'll come back and we'll start laying out a couple other parts of the town. So as I look at the layout of the town here, I'm equal parts ready to get working on it and also terrified when we look at all of the angles that we're going to be working with some of these houses. So these are the blue is the outline for Clock Tower Street. There's a little bit of a monument here. Then we've got some houses here. I can't get up on this roof any higher because of half slabs. Oh, come on. No. Now I really can't get up. Okay. We stand here now. So the pink is going to be the actual clock tower itself. I'm not completely sold on the shape of that one just because that's going to be that would be a challenging building square, and that we have to do it not only on a diagonal but not a 45-degree angle diagonal. It's going to be a challenge. But so then we've got some smaller houses in here. Number of houses back along in here, and then a couple other buildings here. I think this is going to be like a church or maybe a little chapel, and then I don't know, another house or another shop right here. So yeah, so I'm liking how things are looking. I'm really liking the proportions. You know, if we go up into the air here, I feel like things feel pretty good. I haven't actually worked out how many houses need to be in this area, but as a whole, I feel pretty good about how this is going. So the next thing I want to take on is blocking out Hill Street, and this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting because we're actually going up into the hills. So we've got a little bit of a start marked off here. This is going to be the corner of the house on the north side of the street. So hopefully we'll be able to find this line okay up here, and I've still got my camera account logged in with the overlay, so hopefully we will be able to see where we need to go. And the first thing that I want to do is find out exactly where this row is. Looks like that. All right, so let's do this just so we have an idea. Okay. So we need to go much farther over here by the look of it. This is not the easiest terrain to work with. Let's see here. So, if we keep walking over this way... Alright, now I can see where I am. It looks like right about here is going to be the end of Hill Street. So let's go ahead and pillar up with this. And I'm definitely off my line. I can already tell that. Yeah, this needs to come over a few blocks this way. Let's fly down here. Whoops. And let's stand right here. Okay, so it's right off of this one. So then we will come over here. We're going to line ourselves up. So there and right here. Okay. So that is that, and that is quite the line. All right. So then we need to figure out the other side, and we've got to figure out exactly how wide we want this street to be. And of course, as I'm looking at my camera account, my angle is a little bit off. But let's do... So, Clock Tower Street was 7 blocks wide. Let's see what that feels like here. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... That is that wide. I think that feels pretty good. I think 5 is going to feel just a little too cramped for this area. So then the challenge, of course, is how wide do we want the houses to be? So let's go from there. And then we're going to come down here. Let me mark that. We'll drop down here. And then it looks like this one starts from maybe here. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are 7 wide houses if we go there. That, on my overlay, looks pretty good, but I think maybe we want to go with 9. I think these over here were 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think 9 is a good number. Okay, so this feels pretty good, and I think we'll keep it consistent on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right. So that's got that, and then there's another little house here on the end. There's an extra one, so this actually comes all the way over here. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's maybe take that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then this one will come back here. And we'll bring it along there. All right, so let me go ahead and get all the wool in for this, and then we can get an aerial idea of just how big this is going to be. Also, of course, one of the other things that we're going to have to figure out is how much of a slope we want the hill to have. Ooh, and I may be out of red wool. That is a distinct possibility here. I might have to take some of this stuff down. Well, regardless, let me get this mapped out, and then we'll come back and take a look at it. Well, what felt like an incredibly large area as we were plotting it out actually has not turned into an area that's really that bad at all. And as we look at it, so this is going to be the outline of our hill street. Now, obviously, there is there's a lot of terrain that needs to get taken down, and this is going to need to be leveled and smoothed and all of that. I think what the plan is going to be is I think I'm going to flatten a large area around here, and then we'll build up the hill to suit as we start working on that. But I think this feels pretty good. I was actually surprised at how small it turned out to be when I actually started counting the blocks. So, yeah, I think this is going to be nice. We've got a 7-wide road. I think that feels good. I think 5 blocks wide was just going to be a little too tight in there. Yeah, so if you're wondering what the stream project for this week was, it's probably going to be leveling this area. Although don't quote me on that because that may change. All right. So the next thing, and honestly probably the last thing that we're going to do for this video, is I want to at least outline the harbor and where all of those are going to be. And as I'm looking at things, it looks like there are really 3 sections to the harbor. And the first one is pretty much already laid out for us. There's what I want. which is nice because it actually is, it's based off of, and Horizon. So it's actually based off of the end of Hill Street, so that's kind of nice. That's going to make things a little bit easier, and that's not the color I want. I want brown. I also don't need this grass. There we go. Okay, so as I look at things, I think we're going to come a little bit beyond, and this, I'm probably going to deviate a little bit. I'm gonna rough this out a little bit more, just based on looking at the picture rather than actually using the overlay. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think let's do 7 blocks from the end. And then we want to leave a little bit of room between the two. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that going to give us enough of a hillside? I guess that this hill is not very hilly. So, yeah, I think this is going to be good. So we're going to start there. We're going to use this as a corner. I'm going to build that up just a little bit, because I have some other wool in the area that needs to go. And then essentially this comes right down in line with, I lost my line. There it is. Right down in line with the edge of the harbor. And it looks like that's probably this block right here. Okay? So that's going to be the first area. And then there's a little bit of an inlet that comes in here. And then there's 2 more sections beyond that. So this is going to take a little bit of calculating where things need to go and a little bit of figuring. So I'm going to work on that, and I will bring you guys back when that is done. So here are our 3 sections of the harbor part of the village. We've got the brown here, we've got the yellow, and we've got the light blue. And I'm not doing any more with these. I know we kind of roughed out houses, but there's really no point in figuring out these until we have actually leveled the terrain over here, and then we can get a better idea for just how big these spots are. I did pull the camera account in after I had worked out the yellow area, and I had worked it about 50% bigger than it needed to be. So I pulled it back a little bit, and I was trying to do the same with the blue section. The problem that I was running to was one of parallax, because with the camera account so high up in the air, this mountain is blocking it because it's located somewhere over there. So it was making it difficult to see. So before we're going to be able to really get a good grip on where all of that needs to be, we're going to need to level all of this. I was afraid when I started this project that I was going to have to level this entire mountain, and that looks like it's going to be the case. But we will work on it little by little. Obviously, this is no small project. There's a reason I dedicated all of Season 2 to building up Arendelle, and that's because I knew that this was going to be a massive undertaking to do all of this. But yeah, essentially what you're seeing there with the blue and the yellow and the brown here all needs to be down not just to water level, but below water level. So we got a lot of terraforming to do. So look forward to a lot of grindy live streams. So let's go fly to our little platform here, which may not be the best angle to view all of this. We did this from Market Square, but I figure this will be good to kind of get a feel for how things are going to look. And yeah, as I'm looking at this, I really like the proportions for these areas. I can kind of envision how it's going to be once we start clearing all of this. I think I might want to bring a few more beacons over here, because yeah, that's a lot of area that needs to get cleared. So yeah, but good. So I'm going to start working on that between episodes and during live streams. We did not get to laying out the footprint for the castle this episode, but that is okay. So I think next time... Actually, I'm not going to say what I think for next time because I have no idea. But I think that is going to wrap it up for today. I know this was not necessarily the most, captivating episode. We didn't build anything. We put down a lot of wool. But for a project of this scope, we really need to take the time to lay things out ahead of time. I've seen a number of other YouTubers do this. When they're building massive cities, they plan, and so I could do the planning off camera, but I actually think that it's something interesting to watch, how you lay out a city and everything, and then to watch it grow from there. So yeah, I know this, it's a little bit of a different episode, but I hope that you enjoyed it nonetheless. So, if you did enjoy it, please be sure to give it a like and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, I would encourage you to subscribe and make sure you click that little notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my latest posts. Be sure to follow me on social media, and I hope to see you for our live streams Wednesday nights at 9:30 Eastern. Thanks for watching. See you real soon.